Thank you very much for coming. My name is Danilo, or you can just call me Nilo. And I'd like to thank Easy Music, everybody here, Jericho, Chris, Peter, the management, everybody working here for allowing me to host this workshop. I was trying to figure out, is it a workshop or clinic? So we're going to go with workshop. Clinic sounds a little too clinical. I was going to actually decide to work with a rhythm approach to the harmonica because it's a very simple way to learn. And if you played before, it's a good way to review your chops. I've been playing for about 8 years, a little more, but I play every day. And like anything, if you're going to get good at something, you need to put the time and effort into it. If you want to dabble with it, that's fine too. So today we're going to work with rhythm harmonica. And when you're learning something new, I try to find shortcuts to learning something as quickly as possible. I came across something called konakol. It's an Indian rhythm notation, I guess, or rhythmic syllables to learning how to play an instrument. So instead of saying quarter note, I'm going to say ta. Everybody say ta. Ta. Now take out your harmonica. Hold the harmonica any way you want. And then just breathe into the harmonica and say ta. Ta. So just blow out on any number of holes. You can go on the lower end over here and just blow and say ta while you're doing it, okay? So you want to be on the lower end of the harmonica. The harmonica has numbers 1 through 10, and to get that lower, deeper sound, you want to be on the lower part of the harmonica. So everyone just say ta, and let's start slow. So you just count out ta, 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 ta. Let's try it together. There you go. Now you're already playing the harmonica. For every blow, there's a draw. So blow means you're blowing air into the harmonica. You're actually pushing. Draw is sucking the air back in, like this. Try it. In, out, or out, in, out, in, out, in, out, in. Excellent. You're doing a good job. So that is basically your quarter note. That's the foundation of pretty much all music. Then there's a second one, which is the eighth note, called the taka. Ta-ka. So you've got ta, 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 and then taka, 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 taka. Let's try taka, taka. Now, when you're playing a harmonica, remember to breathe down here in your tummy. Try not to breathe up here. Bring it down as much as you can. Again, let's blow out and say the rhythm syllables taka. Like this. Excellent. Very good. Now, if we're doing it out, we got to do it in as well. So let's do it breathing in, called a draw. Nooch, have a seat. Remember to breathe through your diaphragm. Breathe in your tummy. Okay. Pretty basic, right? So you've got the ta, you've got the taka. Now, if you combine them, you get the famous blues shuffle. So if you try that, you breathe in twice, breathe out twice. You're basically doing taka in, taka out. Try that nice and slow to get that rhythm. Excellent. Now, what I'd like you to try and do is find a partner, face each other, and just do it back and forth. Taka, 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 taka. Kind of like a dialogue. So one person goes, the next person, same thing. Try to get that rhythm going with each other. Go. Look at that. You got the train going already. Good job, guys. Yeah, exactly. So the main thing is when you're learning anything, you really want to try and keep it as slow as possible. And then, when you learn it properly, then you can bring it up to speed. So it seems like everyone has a pretty solid foundation. Now I want you guys to challenge yourselves to think of a train that's moving. It starts moving slowly and gradually picks up. Kind of like what I was doing earlier. Again, you're just drawing in two, blowing out two. If you want to make it a little more interesting, you draw on the first 3 holes, the bottom 3 holes, and then you move over one set of keys, starting on the 2 blow, and you get this rhythm thing that sounds something like this. So again, I'm going to start slow, build it up to speed. Then it's your turn. All right? Here's the train. Try that. Try it with a partner and see if you can start nice and slowly. So one person, the other person does the same thing. And you have a dialogue. Try nice and slow first. Let's try it, everybody, let's try it together, okay? So again, the main thing is to really stay on the low end of the harmonica to really give it that fat sound. Okay, let's start together. We'll start nice and slow. We'll begin on the draw, 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 blow, blow. Okay, everybody ready? Here we go. Keep going, keep going. Keep it steady. And I'm going to improvise on top of this so you can see what music's about. Keep it steady. I need a good foundation. You got it. And stop. Wow. Impressive. Good job, everybody. Not bad for a first time. So what I was doing, of course, is just bending some notes and having fun improvising on top of a rhythm section. Now, one of the key components of music, I think a lot of people forget about this. They want to be flashy. They want to play all the solos. They want to play all these leads. But actually, unless you have a good rhythm, you're not going to go very far in music. Even the great Eddie Van Halen said, look, I'm a solo guitar player, but I am first and foremost a rhythm player. Okay, he thinks of himself as a rhythm player. So, because you have this solid rhythm, once you have the rhythm in your body and in your heart, this is called a harp, by the way, a blues harp. It's not one of these things. Then you can go pretty far. So let's try that again. This time, again, working with a partner, one person plays the rhythm. Okay, the other person gets to solo. Now, because you're basically playing 2 chords, you can play pretty much any note you want on this diatonic harmonica, and it should work. So pair off with a partner. One person just goes draw, draw, blow, blow, draw, draw, blow, blow. The other person has fun and tries to improvise. All right? Are we ready? So I'll keep the rhythm going in the background so you can follow me, and then Actually, you guys can do it in pairs, and then we'll have everyone solo later. You can come up and have fun playing up here on the mic. Before we start playing is how to hold the harmonica. I see some people actually played harmonica before, or blues harp. Some of you might not have, so I'm going to just go through the basics. Just hold the numbers on the top, and you want the thumb on the bottom and the index finger on top, and then you want to bring the other hand underneath, and you want to try and really create a sealed, just want to seal this cup here. It's called cupping. So you want to cup this harmonica. And what happens when you do that is the air becomes constricted inside, and as you open up, the air goes out, and you get what's called a wah-wah effect. Something like this. Or with a chord. And then how you can actually flutter with your hand to give a real basic but very cool technique. It's called the wah-wah. You can actually say the word wah-wah as you're playing, and it gives you one of the coolest harmonica techniques. So as one person's doing the rhythm, the other person can just try playing the wah-wahs. Go like this. Blow into the 3-hole and just go. If you feel brave, go up to the next hole. And you get that kind of country sound. So have fun, experiment. One person does a rhythm, the other person gets to practice the wah-wah effect. So again, the numbers are on top, the index finger's on top, and then just really cup the harmonica. Try not to let the air escape unless you open up your hand. All right, give it a try. The thing that's beautiful about a diatonic blues harmonica is that it's actually tuned to a major scale, and if you play in the right key, you can pretty much play any notes. Now the problem often is that people tend to overplay. My turn to solo. They just keep playing and playing and playing, right? It's the excitement, it's getting up on stage and it's playing. But the key is to play with taste. Don't go in there and just blow everyone out of the water immediately. Play a couple of riffs. And then. So it's that rhythmic component again where you're actually getting into the playing. So it's always good to think of a solo as a dialogue. When you talk, you've got to pause. Same thing. Play a riff, pause, play another riff, pause, think of a phrase. Of course, this will come later as you get better. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to call everybody up one at a time. If you want to, no pressure. And I'm just going to lay down a rhythm pattern. Behind you, it's something called Bang Something, a riff that I came up with a while back. Very simple. Come on up. Here's your microphone. And take a couple of measures. Just have fun with it. Any volunteers? What's it been, half an hour? You guys are playing harmonica already. That's the beauty of this instrument. It doesn't take very long to learn the basics. It takes a while to just refine the techniques, which leads me into the second part of today's workshop, the meat and bones, the techniques. We've learned how to hold the harmonica. We've learned the wah-wah effect. So let's just practice making sure we remember the wah-wah. Okay, cup, blow, and then open up slowly and say wah. Okay, now say wah, 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 wah. Now let's have fun. Try saying a sentence like something positive. I love you. Try I love you into the harmonica. With a wah. Can you hear that? That's great practice. Phrases, right? So when you're playing, you'll hear a little, oh yeah, I'm feeling the love tonight. So you go. So vocalizing into the harmonica is a great way to practice to hear those sounds that you might be wanting to get out of your head into your instrument. So how do we do that? Well, the basic technique is just talking into the microphone while using the wah-wah technique. The wah-wah will get you a long way. So, and you'll notice as I'm working with it, I can control the airflow by how much and how little I open my hand. If you do that, not much is happening. But if you actually open and do the cupping, you'll hear it. Another really interesting technique is what's called, I'm not even sure what the word is. I like to call it a flutter. You blow into the harmonica and you kind of wave into the harmonica at the same time. Something like this. Okay, so you got the wah-wah and you got the flutter. All right, and I'm hearing people who are doing one of the coolest things on the harmonica. You are actually bending notes. You probably might not even know that you're doing it, which is actually a good thing, because that means you can do it at will. Bending notes on a harmonica is a really great way to improve your harmonica playing skills. One way to do that, perhaps the easiest way, is to look at the number 6 on your harmonica, focus on that note, and then you're going to say 2 sounds. You're going to say E, and then U. E, U, E, U. And what will happen, hopefully, is, whoa, awesome. Who did that? You got like a double bent right away. It's pretty advanced. Perfect. You're bending like a pro already, okay? Now you got to control the beast. Okay, so, where are we? That might be a little high. So E-U, E-U, E-U. Right now I'm just inhaling, and it sounds like I'm exhaling, but that E-U is actually the bent note. So it's all on the inhale. You can try it on some of the lower notes too if you want. Let's try it maybe on a 4. Try on the 4 drop. Sounds like something out of the Twilight Zone, right? Okay. with that technique, with bending, you've got a whole new world opening up for you, and it's the blues harmonica, right? You can do stuff like, I don't know. Just a couple of notes and you're playing the harmonica already. So try just blowing into the harmonica, getting one or two notes, and then as you're breathing, drawing, try to bend a note. There are several ways to do that. The EU is one choice. The other one is to kind of make a face, make an angry face, and see what happens. Okay, so try bending a note. I would say sticking with the 4 draw or the 6 draw. Those higher notes tend to bend pretty well. Anything above the 6 is going to get harder. Anything lower than a 4 and it'll be pretty easy, or relatively easy once you get the hang of it. Look at that. We got some real bluesy people in the house. And so the main thing that you want to do with a rhythm harmonica is just listen to the music, to quote the Doobie Brothers, and then try to get as many of the rhythms going as you possibly can. So I'd like to just demonstrate what you can do with a rhythm-based harmonica playing. Extravaganza is kind of a showpiece, and it combines rhythmic components with weird kinds of techniques. So here it goes, Extravaganza in the key of C. And the inspiration for this kind of playing is a guy named Peter Mad Cat Ruth. In my opinion, probably one of the greatest harmonica players alive today. And if you ever get a chance to check him out, go check him out. He's on YouTube and just phenomenal. So this is kind of my dedication to him. And I'm pretty certain I've probably stolen a couple of licks from him and put him into this thing called Extravaganza. This one goes out to Peter Mad Cat Ruth. Okay. All right. But see, you can do a lot just with some rhythms and throwing in some pretty basic melodic figures, and then just practicing, having fun with these rhythms, seeing what you can get out of them. And then it gets really fascinating when you're up in front of a microphone or playing through a mic, because you're hearing things when you're practicing acoustically that don't come out when you're playing through a microphone. And so every time I play, I hear something new. Today I heard some weird overtones that were going on, and I'm sure it's due to the magic of Jericho and the fantastic sound. So it's never too late to learn. It's never too late to improve. But most important, it's always fun to make sure that you're having fun. And I think of practice as a joy. It's not something you have to go, oh, I got to go practice my scales, or I got to. No, I think you were mentioning earlier that you play in the car. What you can do then is just get a certain amount of songs in a key, maybe a key of C or whatever harp you have available, and try to find songs that match that key. There are plenty of places online that can show you what keys different songs are in, and just play along to the recordings. There's a third one that we didn't really get to work on today. It's called takita, which is a triplet, triola, takita, takita. So it sounds like. If you listen to a lot of the great soloists around the world, doesn't matter what genre they're playing in, you'll notice there's a lot of spaces in their playing. And that's because they're probably thinking of a phrase, playing it, pausing, going to the next phrase. Even people as incredibly fast as Charlie Parker would have these incredibly placed pauses to lend emphasis to his playing. And that's it. We covered a lot of ground. You guys did great work today. We are now giving out raffle tickets. We are going to give away 2 harmonicas. Yes. Does anybody have any questions? How do you clean it? Good question. I wouldn't just dump it in water or anything. What I normally do is I'll have hand sanitizer, and I'll just kind of wipe it off that way. Sometimes you get residue inside. You can take any kind of a hook device, even a toothpick, and just clean it out and put some alcohol-based stuff on it. Yeah. If you have a wood harmonica, it gets a little more sensitive, but the plastic should be fine. Yeah. Yes? Bend while blowing. Yes, absolutely. You can do that on the higher notes, something like. It's called overblowing. And some of those guys who are really good can bend that down a couple of notches. A little bit. You can do that. Yeah, you can. Well, you can blow extra hard. Some people will actually retune. They'll work with the reeds themselves and custom design them so you can get more bends out of the reed to make the reed a little more flexible. But that's going really advanced. Yes. And I want to thank you guys for coming by, beating traffic to be here, and doing a marvelous job. Great job, guys. Thank you. Right. Congratulations to the harmonica winners, too. Sterling and John. Rock on.